right, let's talk about one of the most powerful and honestly one of the most frustrating spiritual concepts out there, surrender. We've all heard it a million times. Just let go. Go with the flow. Sounds so easy, right? But it's maddeningly difficult. So today we're going to unpack what surrender really is, using some incredible notes from a dialogue between a seeker, ShunpeterZ, and Z, which is a higher layer of his own consciousness. And right there, that's the big problem, isn't it? It's a paradox that ties our brains in knots. If surrender means not doing, then how in the world are you supposed to do it? The second you try, you're already doing something, which means you've already failed. It's this perfect spiritual catch-22. So let's really get into this, because this isn't just some vague, fluffy idea. It's a deep, very real struggle that's wired into the way our ego is designed to operate. And this is where most of us get it completely wrong. We think we're surrendering, but what we're actually doing is what you could call pseudo-surrender. This is the ego's version, and it's basically a transaction. It's saying, okay, universe, I'll let go, but you better give me what I want in return. It's just another strategy. True surrender, on the other hand, is totally unconditional. It's about letting go of your attachment to the outcome. It's the huge difference between using surrender to get what you want and finding freedom from wanting in the first place. Okay, but why is this so unbelievably hard? Well, the thing is, the struggle to surrender isn't you failing. It's actually a super important part of this deep, almost alchemical process of inner transformation. So, ancient alchemists had this amazing concept called the athanor. It was their furnace, the place where they'd break things down to create something new. For us, that furnace is an internal process. It's a period of intense inner work where our old programming, all those limiting beliefs, get burned away to make room for a completely new way of being to emerge. But here's the tricky part, the trap that's inside that furnace. Even when you're trying to define how you want to be, let's call it a new being code, that itself is just another sneaky form of doing. Your ego loves this part. It jumps right in and says, okay, new plan. I'm going to be more peaceful. I'm going to be more successful. But see, it's still trying to write the script. It's still trying to control the final product of the transformation. And this quote just nails it. This is the whole subtle game of pseudo-surrender. It's basically telling the universe, look, I'll trust you, but only if you deliver the goods. That's not trust at all, is it? It's a negotiation. And our ego, well, it's a master negotiator. And this is the exhausting cycle it traps us in. First, you strive and hustle with everything you've got. Then you inevitably hit a wall. So you decide to surrender, but you're really just using it as a new tactic. You're constantly peeking, checking for results, and when they don't show up on your schedule, you get frustrated and jump right back to striving. It's a hamster wheel from hell. So if trying doesn't work, and not trying is impossible to try, what on earth do you do? Well, this is where we shift from the problem to a really, really profound solution. This is the question that changes everything, because true surrender isn't about being passive or making a backroom deal with the cosmos. It's something else entirely. It's active, but in a way that's completely trusting. And there it is, the core insight from Z. This is it. True surrender is an active, enthusiastic affirmation. It's looking at the vast, mysterious, unfolding story of your life and shouting, go, I'm in. I trust your script way more than my little script. Whatever you've got planned, bring it on. It's a full-throated declaration of trust and participation. I love this metaphor. It's about a role change. You have to fire yourself from the job of being the scriptwriter, the one who's agonizing over every single line and plot point of your life. Instead, you step onto the stage as both the lead actor, fully committing to whatever scene you're in, and also as the audience, just watching this incredible story unfold with total curiosity and awe. But look, an insight is just a nice idea until it gets tested. And you can be sure life will always, always give you a graduation exam. So imagine this. You've had this huge realization. You've given your go sign to the universe. You're feeling great. And then, bam! Reality serves up a big, fat challenge that's perfectly designed to see if you actually meant it. For ShunpeterZ, this test came fast. A key business number, monthly bookings for his school, was down. Not just a little, but down a gut-wrenching 35%. Now that's the kind of number that sends a jolt of pure panic through your system. The kind of number that screams, do something, fix this, now. And in that first moment of shock, the real question pops up. Is this just a random business slump, or
Is this the universe? Is this Z looking right at you and asking, okay, you said you trust me. Do you trust me now, even when the data looks terrifying?
This is the exact moment when the ghost of an old hero shows up. For ShunpeterZ, it's the crisis KPI man. We all have an archetype like this, don't we? It's that part of our ego that secretly loves a crisis. It's the part that gets to swoop in, be the hero, work 80-hour weeks, and fix everything through sheer force and willpower. It's the old you, rising from the grave to take back control.
So what happens if you don't answer that hero's call? What happens when you pass the test, when you actually choose to trust instead of control? Let's take a look at what that state of being actually feels like. This new state is just so perfectly captured in a Japanese expression, fuwato hawan. Now, there's no direct translation, but it gives you this feeling of being light and fluffy and just gently floating. It's this deep, unbothered sense of self-acceptance. It's a quiet inner voice that just says, well, I am me. It's this peaceful, spacious feeling of being okay, no matter what the external numbers say. And this new way of operating, it runs on a few key principles. First, you realize outcomes don't define you. Your sense of self is no longer tied to results. That means your inner state of being becomes the only real goal. And you find that true inspiration, it doesn't come from panicked action, it flows from stillness. And finally, you fully embrace that incredible dual role. You're both the actor and the audience in the movie of your life. And that really brings us right back to you. Because your graduation exam isn't some big thing in the future. It's happening right now, in some area of your life. So the final question I want to leave you with is this. What is the one result, the one specific outcome that you are clinging to so tightly that it's stopping you from giving the universe your true, unconditional, and joyful go sign?